Welcome back to another video. Today, Bradford City have announced that Lewis Richards has signed a 2-year deal at the football club. Very happy about this. I can't profess to know that I know a lot about the player, only than what I'm going to tell you, but he looks like the type of player that we need. It looks like he's got a bit of pace about him. Very versatile by the looks of it, can play left back, left wing back and left centre back. I don't know which his preferred position will be. He hasn't actually said that, but he has hinted at he wants to get forward and put crosses in. So it a bit like probably Odvar, rather play further up the field. Will he be straight in the team? Well, it does say in the article that he can play tomorrow and he's eligible for Morecambe, which is always a big plus. That your player can come straight into a side and compete. He's been training as well, Mark Hughes said. I will read you all that anyway, but I think when you look at the basis of it, it's a good signing. But there's a few ins and outs I'm a bit unsure of because of the way the football club's been with these sort of signings in the last few years. But we'll get into it anyway. He has recently played for Harrogate on loan. I think it was on loan anyway. Played 21 games there. I think he got injured. But he did play 40 times for Wolves in the under-21s in the Premier League too, which is always tough to try and track how they're doing because you look at some players in the league, the Premier League 2 setup. It's always hard to gather how good they are because it's a different setup, it's a different intensity and different physicality. But what you do gather from those type of players is they are much better on the ball than the other players in the academies further down the divisions. He was at Brentford as well, I think in 2016. Oyogoke was at Brentford, and they don't have the best youth setup because they have more of a B team. They focus on bringing in other players. So I don't know if I'm not actually completely aware if he was in Brentford's youth team or if he came through Wolves for youth team. But I think it's a good signing when you look at it on the basis of he's the type of player that we've needed most of the summer. Mark Hughes said we are delighted to be welcoming Lewis to the club as someone we have been tracking for a long time. He's a strong defender in who we have identified an ability to fit into our system and style of play with his dynamism and the physical and technical boxes he ticks. Having trained with us today, we are excited to be working with him and pleased to have a player of his calibre with us on a permanent basis. He wearing the number 32 shirt for Bradford City as well. Any number 32 shirts that have been successful in the last however long, I can't even remember a number 32 for City. But he's fully recovered after his injury at Harrogate. I think it were ankle injury or something. He said, I could not say no to this opportunity. I'm grateful to be spending at least the next 2 years here. It's a massive club, as we always get told. It is, but obviously the players always say it in the interviews. It's like they get told that you must say this. Obviously Derek Adams doesn't seem to be fond of it anyway. And as soon as I heard of the interest here, I wanted to come. I like to link up play and defend as well. I'll get up and down and put crosses in and just want to do well for the team. I know the ambitions of the club and want to get promoted. I want to be a part of a team full of winners. I'm going to get my head down in training and hopefully be successful at this club. I'm looking forward to what lies ahead. Sounds a very promising interview by a very promising player. And I think the best part of the deal is we must be confident in this player. We've put a fee in. I think I've read somewhere, well, 30 grand, but you can never really tell unless you actually know the numbers itself. But it's not like us to be spending fees on a player. I think we did for Derby, that went well. I can't really remember many over the years, but I think most of the players we have signed for a fee, they haven't seemed to work well. Shea McCartan, one of our most expensive players we've bought in our history, terrible. I think we might have for Charlie Wyke. I'm not sure, you might have to correct me on that, but I'm glad we've brought him in anyway because it does show an intent of wanting to bring in a player who's a left-sided player who's got pace. Whether he's going to be playing as a left centre back, whether he's going to be playing as a left wing back, he's got pace, and I think Odyssey will probably move on now because it does show that he's versatile. If we do need to go with a pacey left-sided centre back, and maybe we'll put Gilead in left wing back and go for that sort of type of approach to a game. It gives us options. When we brought Odrar in, we thought he was going to be the left wing back, and he said in interviews that he wants to play as a number 10, he wants to play off the wing, he wants to entertain, he wants to get in the final third, and we've definitely seen it in the last few games, how creative he is and how pacey he is and how much of a threat he is to opposition. So he had confidence in his own ability that he could play further up the pitch. And Lewis Richards has come out and said that he wants to put crosses into a box, so I think he'll want to play as a left wing back. He might get trialled as a left centre back in the first few games, maybe tomorrow. But my suspicion is I don't think he'll be straight in the team, just because I don't think it's something Mark Hughes will do. But we'll see. I hope he does start tomorrow. Will he be a successful signing? It's a big question, isn't it? I mean, I don't know that much about him. Like I said, I think he was Wolves Player of the Year last season in the Youth Player of the Year. Now, we brought in Joe Riley. I think he was Man United's captain in the under-21s or something like that. You can't read into that. Like I said, the Premier League 2 is good for players who are good on the ball and that good physically. Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But Stephen Gent's recent signings, the loan signings, like this is a bit of a type of a loan signing, although it's a 2-year deal. It's that sort of a player you'd bring in on loan normally. Obviously, Thierry Nevers, that didn't work out at all. Darragh Costello, one of the worst players we've had in recent times. But then when you look at the successes that he's brought in, Critchell on loan, Banks on loan, and Tariq White. So when you look at that, yeah, he's done well. But then the younger players that we actually signed on contracts, only Harry Lewis has worked out. Jake Young's gone out on loan to Swindon and has done pretty well over there at this moment in time. Ryan East has just gone to Rochdale, and Timmy Odesina is probably going to go to a National League club on loan, from what I've heard, and with this signing. So it's very hit and miss, but transfers are, I read somewhere that around 60%, I think that were the number around that, of transfers work out and 40% are flops. And that's probably true, because no matter how good of a scout you are, no matter how good of a recruitment team you are, some work out and some don't, whether it's injury, whether it's performance, whether it's physical or mental. There will be ins and outs to why players won't work out. Left wing backs in the last few seasons, you look at James Meredith, he was the last left back that we've had, and before him we didn't have many good ones either, but he's the only one who can say I did my best for the shirt, and I was the only player who actually was a credible left wing back or left back for the club. The ones that followed him, there's not many you can say was actually average. A lot of really poor players, terrible players in that position. So hopefully he can do well. I wish him the best of luck, obviously, because he's going to be playing for us, and hopefully he can be a real force down at left side. Hopefully he shows that he's got pace, and we've seen with Oyegoke so far, he ain't that good going forward. But hopefully he's a much better player from him. Hopefully we've done our homework as well, and we've checked him, what type of a person he is, and hopefully Stephen Gent's got this one right, because he's due a very good recruitment signing like this, like Richards hopefully will be. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments down below. Do you think he'll work out? What do you know about him if you do? I don't profess to know myself really, apart from what I've read and what I've seen a bit over social media, but it's, you can never really tell. And hopefully he plays tomorrow. I want to see him start tomorrow. He's been training for the club, so there's no reason why Hughes can't. You can't say that I ain't had enough time to look at him. And that left wing back position's up for grabs. Liam Rideout is terrible. I won't put him in the matchday squad for the rest of the season. Alex Gilliard's injured. Clark O'Dra, I've already mentioned, he wants to play high up the pitch, and he's proven why that's the case. We've got no one there who can play there Saturday. I put Kelly as a left back, so that shows the lack of options we've got. So hopefully he does well. Let me know your thoughts on him in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on Stephen Gent in the comments down below as well. Are you confident in him to get these sort of deals right? Like the video if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Have a good one.